Coming up, we're going to be talking about how an executive has urged you not to bootleg the latest season of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Also be talking about the Great North, plus also the launch of some new tiers on Disney Plus in Australia and New Zealand. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Hi, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. It's time for a quick Disney Plus news roundup. Let's start off with talking first off about the new launch of some upcoming tiers on Disney Plus in Australia and New Zealand. So on March the 5th, they're going to be launching two tiers. You've got Disney Plus Premium and Disney Plus Standard. So Disney Plus Premium is basically what you've got right now, which is just ad-free streaming services with everything that we've got used to. This kind of falls in line to what we've already seen happen in Europe and also in Canada. And it's also kind of similar to what we've seen happen in some other countries around the Middle East and Africa, where you're now going to have the choice of the two. This is a sneaky way of doing a price rise because the premium tier is going to be going up in price by a few dollars a month, or about $40 a year. So it's a big price rise. Or you can stay on the standard price, which is the same as what you're currently paying, but you are going to lose some features. For example, you're going to lose 4K, HDR. You'll also be losing the Atmos sound, plus you can only stream on two different devices at the same time. So this kind of brings in line with what we've seen internationally, of what they've been doing. No word yet on when or if they're going to be launching this in the US. I imagine they're not going to do it until they've sorted out what's been going on with Hulu, because adding in more complex layers is just unnecessary right now in the US for the bundles and deals and stuff they do. Whereas in Australia, they've only got the one tier right now, which is essentially going to be Disney Plus Premium. So when they only introduce the standard, it doesn't look like they're going to be adding the ad version, the standard with ads at the same time like we did here in Europe and in Canada. That's probably going to come at a later date, but they're just kind of bringing this all in line. If you are a monthly subscriber to Disney Plus in Australia and New Zealand, you might want to take a look at taking advantage of an annual subscription, because until March the 4th, if you take out an annual subscription, you'll get locked in on the old price. So it's just worth doing if you are like that. Or if you've got a renewal coming up in the next few weeks, you might want to think about that way of doing it. It is, like I said, it is a price rise through the back door of, if you want the exact same thing as you've got now, you are going to have to pay more for it. But at least there is that slightly cheaper option. But I'm hoping at some point we get confirmation of the ad tier, which will be cheaper again. But yeah, this kind of, as I said, brings it in line with most other countries and just offering different alternative versions. We're seeing most of the streaming services doing something similar, of trying to offer different ways of keeping you engaged while also trying to get more money out of you. But that's the key thing. But let us know, are you going to be staying with Disney Plus Premium, or are you going to be going with Disney Plus Standard? Love to hear your thoughts on that. Personally, I'm using Disney Plus Premium here in the UK. I don't want to see ads, and yeah, I watch enough on Disney Plus that I feel like it's worth it. But yeah, at least here we do have that really cheap option if you really want to go just for ads. But let us know which one you're going for in the comments below. Let's now shift gears and talk about the Great North, because currently the 4th season is just returning on Fox in the US. The series is also released as a Star original on Disney Plus around the world. And now we know that a 5th season is going to be happening, because during a recent appearance on the From the North to Wharf podcast, the executive producers of the show also said that they don't know why, but they haven't actually announced that the 5th season is happening. They've been working on it already, and they're set to begin production on it pretty soon, which is kind of strange. I don't know if it's because they're waiting to see what happens with the ratings of the 4th season. Maybe if they're really down, they'll just turn around and go, actually, yeah, we don't want to move forward, which is still likely, but yeah, that could be it. Or they just want to get a few more episodes of season 4 out the way before they then confirm for season 5. But if you're a fan of the Great North, good news, yeah, the kind of things are still going along. But again, Fox or Disney, it's still this like weird thing with the Great North where Fox is the company that is airing the Great North in the US, and they've kind of got the control of whether or not they renew it or not. As we've seen with some other shows like 911, when they didn't renew it, Disney decided to keep going. But sometimes with some of these shows, Fox says, we don't want it anymore. Disney goes, okay, time to let it go. But yeah, so good news if you're a Great North fan. If you are, let us know in the comments below. And let's now talk about the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur situations. So, upcoming next week on the 3rd of September, the 2nd season of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is set to arrive on Disney Plus in the United States. It's also going to be coming out later in February in Australia and in New Zealand. No word yet on when it's going to be coming out here in the UK or in Canada. And that is a problem that one of the executive producers of the show, Steve Loiter, has pointed out on social media. Now, he was vocal earlier this month about The Ghost of Molly McGee, which he's also executive producer on, talking about how the use of people using piracy has resulted in the show kind of getting cancelled because not enough people watched it. Put some of the blame as well on Disney for not doing an international launch at the same time, because ultimately if you're in a country that you can't watch it and it comes out and you want to watch it, you're going to go for alternative means. If you're a real diehard fan, you don't want to wait. And, you know, if Disney put that out globally at the same time, you wouldn't need to. So he put out a message on social media saying, this is the time we need our incredible Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur fans the most. Please tell your friends, your family, your dinosaurs, everyone to watch on February the 2nd on the Disney Channel and February the 3rd on Disney+. Please don't bootleg it, as that will not help the show. Thank you. He added, the reality of the situation is this. We already know what to do for the 3rd season of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and it's really great. We need more viewers to watch the premiere on February the 2nd on Disney Channel and on February the 3rd on Disney Plus to make this happen. So, I mean, executive kind of boosting up, trying to get more views is not a huge shock, because, you know, he wants to continue his job. If it gets cancelled, he's going to have to do another show or try and find something else. If he can continue it going, you know, he's still got a job, so it makes sense for him to push it. But this lines in with a problem that Disney has with its international and global distribution of many of its shows. For Disney Plus originals, the majority of them are released globally all at the same time, and that's been really successful, and it allows everyone around the world to join in. There's still going to be some piracy elements of people not wanting to pay up, but generally if you make it available, you know, at the same time as part of a subscription, people will watch it. But if you put in a question of doubt, you know, there's the idea of like, well, how do I watch this? When's it coming out? Or I could watch it already. Some fans will go to the high seas to watch it, and this is a problem, and it seems to be definitely a problem that Disney has with its traditional television studios that are still kind of linked in with the linear channels in the US and some contracts. We see it with the Disney Channel, National Geographic, FX and ABC, where global releases are all over the place. They can't seem to get things lined up in the same way they can with Disney Plus originals, and even in some ways with the Hulu originals. We are seeing some improvements with some things, but generally the television studios are still all over the place with the release of these channels. And especially with shows from Disney Channel, it's even worse because most countries, like here in the UK, we don't even have a Disney Channel. So the idea of why they've delayed it here, well, it doesn't make any sense because we've not even got a linear channel to do it on. Same thing in Australia, etc. So I'm hoping that, you know, with them highlighting this problem, you know, more people are aware of it. But also Disney get this thing sorted and try and go for global releases for everything that they possibly can. Definitely helps them with the executive pointing this out. Hopefully they're going to pay more attention. But let us know what you think of all this in the comments below. In our question of the day, which comes from Brendan, who says, has the Santa Clauses already been renewed for a 3rd season yet? Or are we still waiting for news on that one? So as of yet, we've heard nothing about a 3rd season of the Santa Clauses. Now, I think that they kind of close it up quite nicely, but they've left it open enough that they could return. The show has been a big hit with Nielsen and people have been watching it, but I imagine, like with the strikes, that's probably put a halt on them getting it ready for next Christmas. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if they gave it a year off or two to kind of let it kind of just allow it some room to breathe, because they kind of rushed it through last time. But I think those strikes probably very much had an impact on them not being able to prepare scripts and get ready for it in the same way. But, I mean, I'd like to see it come back. I did feel the 2nd season was a little bit wimpish in some of the ways. They had this great kind of villain, but they never really did anything with him because obviously you can't have Santa's fighting properly, you know, you can't have a proper fight or anything. So it all just seemed a bit wimpy at the end of it. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it does come back for a 3rd season, but maybe they just need a little bit more time. I mean, they could still... I mean, let's be honest, they could probably turn this one around already, but I think it's going to come down to the scripts and stuff. The fact that we haven't heard already, last time they announced it pretty much while the show was still coming out, maybe they want to hold off, who knows. It was technically a big success, but do they need to carry on, or would they be better off trying to put that money into something else? I don't know, but yeah, I'm kind of on that line of if they didn't come back, I wouldn't be that bothered. But let us know, would you like to see another season of the Santa Clauses? Love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments below. Remember to go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Submit a question below for Monday's video, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.